Eve and the inmates at 3 Rock are rattled by Birch's death, and the events leading up to his demise don't line up after closer examination. Eve realizes that something bigger is going on as she meets obstacle after obstacle as she pushes for answers. By the end of the episode, she still doesn't know what happened to Birch, but she is certain that something nefarious is threatening the lives of her inmates, with Manny next in line. Meanwhile, Walter hits another backslide with his dementia that pulls the entire Station 42 together. Stress about his grandfather and another bad call tempts Bode to dig into his new pill stash, but luckily Audrey is around to pull him back from the edge. He's not out of the woods when it comes to maintaining his sobriety, though. 3 Rock is reeling after the death of Birch, and Eve can't accept that a cold was enough to kill him. He had too many symptoms that didn't line up with a bad cold. She and Manny push Birch's sister to ask for an autopsy so that they can all know the truth about what happened to him. Before she can make the ask, Eve discovers that Birch has been cremated before the body can be examined, preventing anyone from getting more answers and making his death that much more suspicious. The Department of Corrections representative is as shocked as Eve that the autopsy was sabotaged. She goes back to Birch's sister and is told legally that Wendy couldn't talk about it, which only confirms for Eve that someone is trying to cover up the death. Eve promises the 3 Rock inmates that she won't rest until they get justice for Birch, but then she notices that Manny is missing from the mandatory crew meeting. She finds him in his bunk, sweating without a fever. He's down with the same sickness that took out Birch, and if she doesn't get him help as soon as possible, his death could be covered up just like Birch's. The episode's direction by Leslie Alejandro deserves a mention as well. The pacing is well managed, shifting from tense rescue sequences to quieter, more emotional moments with ease. Alejandro captures the chaos of the fire scenes and the calm after the storm with equal finesse, making the emotional beats resonate even more strongly. Death Trap ultimately succeeds because it doesn't just focus on the physical dangers of firefighting, but rather the emotional consequences that come with it. It's a powerful reminder that everyone carries some form of emotional baggage, whether it's the literal clutter of a hoarder's home or the emotional weight of watching a loved one suffer from a terminal illness. This episode of Fire Country is one of the more emotionally complex ones of the season. The intense fire rescue and the personal stories that unfold alongside it provide a deeply moving narrative that showcases both the heroic work of the firefighters and the human struggles that accompany it. As someone who's been invested in these characters from the start, it's rewarding to see them face such raw, emotional challenges, and it leaves me eager to see how they'll continue to evolve in future episodes.